we were talking about, my national championship, and he asked me how many matches I had, and immediately I was thinking, here we go again, and I thought about it, and just so you know, I want to tell you another story. A guy called me last year or the year before, I can't remember. He called me prior to the national championships, and he said he was concerned because he might not have a large bracket, and he was concerned about what his buddies would think if he ended up winning it and had to go home and say he only had a handful of matches, And so this morning I thought about that guy too. And for 10 years competing, I'm old. We don't have, this isn't the Super 32, man. We don't have 100 men in the bracket. We have anywhere from 5 to, I've had as many as 32. Over 10 years competing, and 15 national championships I've competed in. And, we forget that it's not just that tournament and that handful of matches and winning that. There's so much more to it. We have to understand that, these athletes dedicate their life to going and winning these tournaments. And there's a man standing across the circle from you, and he has trained all year, and he's thought about that tournament all year, and he's standing in that circle, and he's there to take your face off, man. And if you're not ready, they're going to get the edge on you. And so, what I think about, guys, is I think about the 10 years of dedicating my life to the sport and training every day, waking up in the morning and having a blend and training, having boiled eggs in the afternoon and then training, having a light dinner and then getting good sleep because I got 30 pounds to lose in a 4-month training camp. That's what I think about. I think about all the other work that is put in to go to make weight, to show up at the tournament, to compete well, to win it. There's so much more to it than that handful of matches you're going to have during the tournament, and that's what really creates a champion. That's a lifestyle, and sometimes we forget about all the preparation, all the getting ready for the tournament, I had to do everything right, man. I had to sleep right. I had to eat right. I had to make good decisions outside the wrestling room every day. I had to make it a lifestyle just to be able to step on the mat and compete, and 10 years of competition, and most of that time I was dieting and cutting weight and managing my food and managing every decision I made because I wanted to win. I wanted to be the best version of myself I could be. I wanted to compete well. And, I was fortunate enough to win a national tournament finally, and it was...
Ah, there you go! Hold it up! Hold it up! There you go! Champion
Earned long before that tournament, It was dedication. It was devotion. It was not letting anybody drag me down. Not letting anybody take me off my path to success. And staying in the fight, staying in the grind, fighting through injury, and training safe. And just being able to show up, travel across the country, stand in that line, make weight, and then go compete well. There's so much more to it. There's so many other things that have to be perfect before you get to the tournament, before you go actually compete, and then you have to have a perfect tournament, whether it's 5 guys or 32 guys. The point is it doesn't matter. You did all the hard work prior to the preparation. You did all the hard work. You showed up. You competed. You won. Whatever the case may be, whatever you went through during that year of training to get ready, you won, man. And so let's put some value in the preparation. Let's put some value on those athletes that made the right choice. Those athletes that made it important. Those athletes that dedicated their life and made it a lifestyle to go and compete. Whether it's 5 or 15 matches, it doesn't matter, man. The hard work is long before the tournament. And we just got to remember that. Sometimes we put glory in the top of the podium and glory in having the ring or the stop sign. And yeah, it's the end result of hard work. But at the end the day, man, we all become better people, better athletes in the process. And that's really what I learned through it all, is that, you know, the real win was who I became in the process. And the man I became is the man that I always wanted to be my whole entire life. And wrestling gave that to me, you know, and I dedicated it to it because I believed in the sport. I knew it could not only save my life, but it could restructure everything about me, and I would find success much bigger outside of the wrestling room through the sport. And so I stayed in it as long as I possibly could, you know. And during those last few years, you know, I took some tough losses and I trained very hard, and I had injuries and things like that I really, really had a hard time fighting through. But I stayed in it, you know. And 2016, my last year of competition, I was fortunate enough to win a tournament, win a national tournament, you know. And but you know, here I am looking back on it, and you got to remember, man, that whether or not you win a national tournament, or you win a world championship, or even a state championship, whatever it is, you know, you've got to put some value in who you become in the process, staying in it and staying after it, you know, because we all become better people in the process.